Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining our Masters of Public Administration information session. My name is Alejandra Pena, and I serve as the advising and outreach manager at the Evans School. I use she, her, aya pronouns. I am a proud first-generation college student of color, first-generation American, and I am honored to assist students in their pursuit of higher education and help students gain an understanding that no matter where you come from, college is possible. I'm thrilled to be here with you all to talk about our MPA program at times. I found that navigating the realm of higher education can be sometimes a difficult task on your own. And so my role here is to help you along that path in applying to our program and maybe help demystifying the process a bit while providing you some tools to feel comfortable and confident throughout this process. Now, I am just one of your hosts this evening, and I'm also joined by our admissions student assistant, Peter. Peter, would you like to take a second to say hello to our group?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Alejandra. Hi, everyone. My name is Peter Nguyen. So I'm currently working part-time as an admission student assistant for the Evans School. But I am also a full-time second-year MPA student here as well. Also a first-generation college student. So if y'all have any questions about curious about classes or the student experience at the MPA or at the Evans School, or just anything really about school life, just feel free to just pop the questions in the chat, and I'll be there present to answer any other questions that y'all might have, either about the application process or just student experience or anything really. Also feel free to just ask those questions towards the end, and always happily connect also.
Thank you for joining us, Peter. We're so honored to have Peter joining us. And in case if some of you were thinking, don't worry, he will be here throughout the presentation. And we will also have our Director of Student Affairs, Kate Sykes. She'll be joining us a little bit later as well. But before we dive in, here at the University of Washington, we start every session with a land acknowledgement. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within the Suquamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. The Evans School acknowledges that we are on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish tribe. Now, here is a quick overview, but not limited to our agenda for today and what we will discuss. And now, during the presentation, as questions come up, we do encourage you to please include them in a Q&A feature below, or you can also jot them down nearby. I won't be able to see the Q&A while presenting, but please know, Peter will be monitoring this feature. And as they mentioned, we've dedicated some time at the end for any and all questions that might be coming up, especially if you have questions about the student experience, definitely ask Peter. I'm just going to say that right now. And now we're just going to take a moment to ask ourselves, maybe in your own words, maybe what public policy means to you, or what is your current understanding of public policy? Now, here we're going to encourage you to use that chat feature again below, but I would also like to note that this is very much a safe and brave space. And so please know that there are no wrong responses when it comes to speaking your truth. And ultimately, my friends, it's okay to say, hey, I'm unsure yet, or I'm hopeful to, learn some more about, this topic and what it could do for me and my academic and career goals too. So we'll just take some time to let that settle, I suppose. I know it's hard to go first. so that's okay. So sometimes we might think about it providing a voice to the voiceless, being a representative of, oh, it looks like we have a hand up. Yes, Jeffrey?
Hello. Sorry, I wasn't sure if we should type it or just I don't know. I just
Oh,
wanted to hop on a
up
mic.
to
Like, why
you, my
not?
friend. Yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely. Go ahead.
Um, I'll just do a brief intro. My name's Jeffrey. I am a student in San Antonio, Texas. My interest is in education policy. I was a PPIA JSI participant this summer at a Carnegie Mellon University, and I had the opportunity to dive into that field quite extensively, specifically as it pertains to public education in the US. So, yeah, that's my interest, and I'm kind of just interested to see what the Evans School of Public Policy has to offer compared to, what other schools are out on the table right now. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for being brave to speak up also. I know sometimes in Zoom we always think about chat. So thank you, Jeffrey. Yes, absolutely. Putting social contract on paper, looks like some other folks are typing in as well. Written rules and regulations that maybe dictate societal practices. Someone's saying, thinking of public policy as a chain of dominoes. The policies put into practice affect how organizations can assist communities. Great. Tools we can use to improve people's lives and create a better world. Wonderful. Public tools for betterment for a particular situation. Yeah. And yet, of course, you can go as specific or as broad as you want, right? Policy is implemented in a lot of different areas, which sometimes folks don't think about too. And so these are all great responses. So thank you so much for your participation, everyone. Just so you know, these are all valid. And just to kind of give you an idea, we'll also share with you here at the Evans Schools what our take on is on this prompt, but we also might have a little twist on it as well. And yes, feel free to keep writing those in the chat. I see we can see improve people's lives and create a better world. I love that too. So our take is the power of public policy. And so at Evans, we are leaning into our responsibility to strengthen the systems that underpin our democracy. We're questioning our democratic systems, innovating new approaches to public policy and administration, and developing what already exists. The Evans School, in partnership with our broader community, is addressing the inequities built in our institutions and sparking a shared belief in the sacred work of public service. We are creating a new generation of courageous change makers who want actionable strategies and pragmatic skills to transform civic life in our communities, our region, and the world. Now, at Evans, as a top-ranked national program situated in one of the world's most innovative regions, we have these three pillars of values that we'd like to highlight with you all. The Evans School is building a necessary engine of change driven by the values that guide our work. These are equity, courage, and service. In equity, we commit to discovering and daylighting disparities, taking anti-racist action, and dismantling systems of oppression. In courage, we stand for the policy and practice leadership informed by evidence and empathy, data and compassion, and head and heart. In service, we have a responsibility to think beyond ourselves and act to uplift all. When these principles come together, it helps us establish connections with professionals, peers, and alumni, which can lead to mentorship, job opportunities, industry insights, collaborations, and a broader support system for our personal and our professional growth. As we learn more about the program, we would like to give you a snapshot of this year's incoming class. Here's a map to where our students call home. Our students are essential in the creation of shaping the community, right? So whether that stems from their interests, identities, lived experiences, and perspectives. As we take a moment to explore the demographics, I'd like to acknowledge the local, statewide, national, and international makeup of this year's class. Historically, we see that most of our first-year MPA students are from the West Coast, so of course including our top three, Washington, Oregon, and California. And this year, we saw an uptick in our Texas folks following our top three represented, so shout out to Texas, Jeffrey, there. With our international population, we have a few continents represented and have seen that most of our students are residents of China. Now, in general, the overall total percentage of students outside of the US is about 17%. All this to say is that we celebrate our students' journeys. Now, whether you are fresh out of your undergraduate program, or you have a few, or maybe even more years in your career out in the world, we are here to build that network, right? And so let's take a look as to how this influences our curriculum here. The Evans School specializes in research and training across a broad array of disciplines that revolve around the policy sphere and working in public service. We got environmental policy and management, international development, metropolitan and urban policy, nonprofit management and philanthropy, public finance and budgeting, public leadership management and decision making, public policy analysis and evaluation, and social policy. Now, you have the opportunity to take courses across a multitude of areas. If there is one or maybe more that speaks to you or sparks joy, we have faculty that would be delighted to connect with you. Now, although we don't have the option for maybe a specialization approach, the interdisciplinary and flexible nature of our program provides a pathway to customize your degree to your advantage. And you can create a focus area if you wish to, or maybe choose to lean into. Our MPA is defined as one program with two paths to choose from. Now, to give you a sense of what this might look like, our full-time students will be enrolled in 12 credits or more a quarter, and that will be to put you on track for a degree in 2 years. Or part-time will be roughly around 8 credits a quarter to be on track for a degree in 3 years. To dive a little bit more to gauge an understanding of what the course load may be, 1 credit is equivalent to about 3 to 4 hours of work outside of the classroom. We'll also touch on this a little bit later, but please know that each path is eligible to be considered for fellowships. Now, it is fairly common that we see our students having part-time job, a full-time job, internship, or other responsibilities outside of the classroom. So please know that we are championing you on and want you to take the best path that fits for you. Alternatively, if you pursue one path at first and you decide that you would like to change gears at a point during the program, we are more than happy to help you make that switch. Students have a one-time option to opt into either path. And that's just ultimately a conversation with an academic advisor. If we summarize this page, this is one program where you have the same research opportunities in real-world policy. Just depends on which pace works best for you. Our commitment in getting students involved and exploring resources available to them is instrumental to your time here at Evans. We grow your professional and hard skills, and maybe think of those as your quantitative and technical skills, along with your interpersonal skills, such as writing and critical thinking. And these will evolve through a combination of experiential learning opportunities like internships, our graduate capstone project, and even a few master's level research opportunities. All of these experiences are designed to prepare you for your career in public service, whether that's at the local, state, federal, or tribal level. Student groups provide an opportunity for students to engage with folks outside of the classroom while creating your own network of folks working through, at times, similar and different stages of the program. Our student affairs team is here to equip you with the support system to achieve your highest potential. We want to watch you thrive during your time with us. We offer resources such as advising, career coaching, and a sense of belonging and community, just to name a few. As you are working through your program, know that we will be there every step of the way. Now, you may be thinking, this is all very helpful, but how does one apply to this stellar program, right? Great question. Let's get into it. We welcome and encourage applicants from all areas of the world and actively promote a broad spectrum of lived experience, such as first generation, marginalized identities, military connected, socioeconomic status, and personal backgrounds. There are no formal course prerequisites for the MPA program here. However, applicants with maybe some prior coursework in introductory microeconomics or statistics may be a little bit more competitive. If you have not previously taken a college level course in microeconomics or statistics, you may be interested in doing so at your local community college or university. Alternatively, Khan Academy is also another great way option, as folks may just need a jump start back into the math world. The MPA Admissions Committee evaluates applications holistically. As part of their consideration, they will look for previous academic, professional exposure to government and policy making, maybe some undergraduate work in mathematics, microeconomics, or statistics, and exceptional writing skills. For logistics, the University of Washington Graduate School requires an application fee of $90. If you are eligible, the UW Grad School also has a few waivers for those who qualify. If you have any questions regarding the payment or maybe questioning if you're eligible, please connect with us directly so we can talk through some potential options. Regarding the English language proficiency, these needs are demonstrated if you are not a native speaker of English. The University of Washington Graduate School outlines how applicants can demonstrate English proficiency. And to give folks examples, this would be like submitting a TOEFL or an IELTS scores, and those would be sent officially. Now, some of these items may look familiar when it comes to application materials, but not to worry, we will be expanding on each of these items in the coming slides. But just as a quick rundown, we will request a resume, unofficial transcript, letters of recommendation, statement of purpose, and a statement of quantitative preparation. Resume will include any relevant academic, professional, volunteer, and/or military-connected experiences. Academic and maybe or professional honors, prizes, or scholarships, maybe some leadership positions from maybe some societies or clubs that you belong to. This does not this does not need to be condensed into one page. So please know if you need those 2, maybe 3 pages of your resume, we will review it in its entirety. Unofficial transcripts from each college and university that you've attended, right? And just know that official transcripts shouldn't be sent unless or until that you accept our offer of admission. We're looking for a 3.0 cumulative grade point average on a 4-point scale, or equivalent measures of performance if a graduate of that specific institution maybe doesn't have a grading system or has an equivalent grade point average from an accredited foreign institution. But for credits earned at a regionally accredited institution, we will need to see an awarded bachelor's degree with at least a 3.0 grade point average. And again, this is on a 4-point scale. I would like to note though, if you are a bit hesitant to apply just because of this threshold, we still encourage you to submit that application. Let's say maybe you're hovering around that threshold. We will be calculating your last 90 graded quarter credits or your last 60 graded semester credits while reviewing your admissions file. 1 to 3 letters of recommendation is preferred, and these would be submitted electronically by your recommenders through our online application system. So once you begin your online application, you'll be prompted to share the names and email addresses of your recommenders. This will just trigger the recommendation process within our system, and it will send each of them an invitation via email asking them to complete a brief online form, rating you in a few areas, and submit their letters. Now, it should be noted that sometimes these notifications go to junk or spam or be missed. So just remember to check in with your recommenders and make sure their contact is updated once they've been added, just as a note. An application is going to be complete with at least that 1 letter of recommendation, although up to 3 letters can be submitted. Our statement of purpose is kind of describing 1,000 words or fewer. This will include your academic background, extracurricular activities, professional experiences, maybe some community and or maybe volunteer work, and any other factors relevant to your interest in public policy. Some items maybe to touch on would be why the MPA program fits your educational, professional, and or personal goals, and providing it within the context of your decision to pursue a career in public service. We want to know where you've been, where you currently are at, and where you'd like to go, but more specifically, why now and why Evans? Additionally, if there is anything that you would like to highlight that you were unable to show in your application, it's mostly when it comes to maybe some trials, tribulations, barriers, whether those are physical or invisible, please include them here if you are comfortable to share. Again, it's a holistic approach that we're looking at. This year, the statement of quantitative preparation is an area where you can indicate classes you've taken and maybe some professional experiences that indicates you prepared for the quantitative rigor of our Evans courses. We encourage you to include any coursework taken at the undergraduate level or the graduate level in areas such as economics, statistics, quantitative research methods, and again, or any other professional experience that you might have, maybe doing data analytics for your company. Now, with all of those pieces combined, you've completed your admissions file. We want you to be mindful of your timeline. There's two different deadlines that we offer to students. The priority application deadline requires that all of your application materials are submitted by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on January 15th. For folks interested in fellowships, this is also the deadline you want to keep mind of. This is when you'll also be considered for fellowship funding opportunities. Please note that you don't need a separate application to be submitted, as your admissions file will act as your fellowship application. We also offer the regular application deadline, and this requires that all application materials are submitted by 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on May 15th. However, please keep in mind that course registration begins in about mid-June, so if you would like ample time to select from our course offerings, we would encourage you to apply prior to May 15th. We are rolling admissions, so the sooner you do submit and complete your admissions file, the sooner you will receive a decision. Now, at times, students typically ask us, what else can I do to be a competitive applicant? The answer isn't comparing yourself to others. Take this opportunity to showcase yourself. You have skills, talents, strengths to offer this program. Highlight your journey within the application materials we touched on. We want to see how you will impact this program and make the policy sphere a more dynamic field, because we need more of that. Now that we've covered a lot of content in a somewhat short amount of time, from the power of public policy, the foundations of our programs, how to get involved, the application process, what materials to include, and what it means to be a successful candidate, we will be moving on to our Q&A shortly, but we wanted to throw our contact information your way, as we know that some of you may have some questions later regarding the admissions process or maybe the program. Additionally, if folks need to hop off or have any other commitments, thank you for joining us. I'd just like to also plug that we offer virtual prospective student appointments for a more one-on-one style meeting if you'd prefer, so maybe if you didn't get the chance to ask some questions during this time. But I do see that we do have our Director of Student Affairs, Kate Sykes, joining us, and so if she's out there, we would love to invite her to do a quick intro.
Hi, folks. My name is Kate Sykes, pronouns she, her. So I have been working here as the director of, in student affairs here at the Evans School for almost 3 years, but I'm actually a graduate of the Evans School MPA program as well. So I graduated about 8 years ago, and when the opportunity came to kind of bring the skills that I learned as an MPA student back home, so to speak, and apply them in my own career of student affairs, I was really excited to do that. I completed the program part-time while I worked full-time, so I'm also happy to answer questions from that perspective as well, but we are so thrilled that you all joined us tonight, and we're looking forward to answering your questions.
So thank you so much for joining us tonight. As a subtle plug, if you aren't subscribed to our mailing list already, this is our QR code to register for that list, and we'll send more information your way. Stay connected with us. And we hope that you found this very helpful and informative as we provide some clarity into the admissions process and share our mission and vision with you all. So please stay connected. We hope this isn't the last time you connect with us, as we're always here to help you throughout this process. So whether it's 2 days or 2 months from now, we really hope to welcome you into our community and join us on our visit day. Thank you again so much, and go dogs! Thanks, y'all. Yes, thank you. Good night.